All right, and we're live. So, forgot to clear my throat. All right, so let's just notify the Discord. We're live a little early today. So, that's something. So I'm going to continue on with the... Yo, KC, in here quick, man. Like, immediately. That's awesome. I was just updating my FAQ. Okay, that's fine. Basically, yeah, today the plan is to finish the, yo, Nebula, how's it going? Finish this lesson. Yeah, you saw the notification. Got you. Finish this refs and memoization. Nice. Your notification, gang. Got you. Refs and memoization lesson, and then I think I was kind of deliberating on what I do after the React course. Like, I wanted to get started on a project, but I figure since I'm moving so soon, I didn't really want to get started on something and then have to not do it for 5 days. So I've decided that I'm just gonna move on with the databases course after React, just because it's then I'm not getting started on a project that I have to like let sit for like 4 days because of my move. So that's the plan. So I'm going to finish off these lessons and then move on to the databases course. So yeah, that's the plan for today. It'll probably bleed into tomorrow and Wednesday's stream too. You already know your way around databases. That would be better. Yeah. Yeah, due to you already knowing your way around databases. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of even just skipping the databases course and going right to the backend. Right to Node.js. I might do that. I'm not 100% sure. Because you know what? Like, I was brainstorming some ideas for an app that I want to make. You're going to be doing Odin for the second time. Nice, Casey. So did you do Odin for a complete, you would not skip material? Okay. Only because I do databases with my work, but anyway. All right, so I'm going to, anyway, I was asking you a question though. So you already, oh, you did it, but you didn't Ruby on Rails. Got you. Okay. So you could probably just start from the beginning of the JavaScript path then. You don't need to redo foundations. I would say you don't need to redo foundations. Because that's pretty easy, like HTML, CSS. Anyway, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm just going to finish the React course today. Probably won't get to the databases. Oh, got you. Nice. Yeah, probably won't get to the databases section this stream. I mean, I might, but we'll see how long this takes. Because I think the next lesson is pretty long from what I recall. Like, there's a lot of examples, and then there's a lot in the assignment, so that'll probably take the rest of the stream. So, cool. But yeah, no, I was thinking about doing a project, but I was like, you know what? I've got like 3 days, 3 streams left, and I don't want to get started on something that I'll have to leave, and then also not having backend. I kind of want to learn backend before I jump into a project, just so that I can do the full stack right away, because I feel like not doing backend will kind of complicate things if I want to make like full stack applications. Especially like I could just make a purely front end app, but I don't know. Like for a lot of the ideas I have, it's going to involve full stack, so I might just continue and finish the full stack course or the backend course, because there's projects in there that'll keep me engaged for the next month or two. So, all right, useReducer, we already know about this. You can make a dev page. I could. Like when you say a dev page, like, do you mean just like a front end like scaffolding of the project? Or do you mean like my own portfolio page? Because I could do that as well. I could make like a portfolio. I was thinking about that. I wasn't sure when I wanted to do that though. But yeah, I could do that. I need to also get a domain for that. I want to get the benstack.dev domain. Please don't steal it from me. I need to jump on that. Portfolio, yes, with your skills, things to do, etc. Yeah, that's true. I could work on that too. I honestly might get to a point where I, like, for variety, I might change up what I do on streams. Like, I might do that. I might do some more studying, whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna just focus on progressing with the course for these next 3 streams this week, and then once I move and kind of have some time to, um, sit with that, then I will decide. But as I said in the Discord, I can't stream until the earliest May 18th because we don't even get internet until the 18th. So I'm gonna be without internet for 2 days. Well, I'll have data on my phone, but I won't have like internet. So I can't stream without internet. I'm not streaming off of my hotspot on my phone. That is not happening. So yeah. All right. Let's see. useReducer. We have this already. Okay. So what did it want us to get out of this? Oh wait, this is the wrong lesson. React docs to learn more about this hook. Pay close attention to the troubleshooting section. Okay. So there's already we already got a lot of these, this information in here. useReducer is a hook, so you can only call it, yeah. useReducer can only be called at the top level of the component. And dispatch is pure, we already know that, as it's a React hook. Okay. So you update the state to a different value and trigger a re-render. Read the state variable after calling the dispatch function, you will still get the old value that was the screen before your call. Right. Dispatch updates only. I think I probably wrote this somewhere. I want to rewrite information. Dispatch receives an action object that passes through this function, return value from the function of the state. The state does not update until, the next render. Okay. React batches state updates if updates the screen after the event handles it. We already know usage. We already know the switch statement stuff. I think we wrote that, didn't we? Yeah, conventions use switch statement. Actions can have any shape. We already got that from before. Yo, Jeremy, how's it going? Welcome. It's, I hope you're doing well. The action type names, each action describes a single interaction, even if it leads to multiple changes in data. Yes, we already got that. State is read-only, don't modify any objects or arrays. Right. Do not modify state or in reducer function. Same rules apply. Same rules with use state apply. Kind of. Yeah, because it's immutable. State is immutable on its own. You're doing great, God bless. I hope you too. Yes, I'm doing good, Jeremy. I've been really busy lately because on Friday I'm moving to another city. So I've been packing, I've been sorting stuff out for that. So yeah, I'm kind of just you know, going day by day. Today I did like half of my clothes. So you know, it's busy, but it's nice. It'll be a good change. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on. I was just saying to chat earlier on that I'm holding off on. I was gonna start a project, but I think I'm just gonna move on to more uh, Odin Project stuff, just so I don't get my dig my teeth into a project and then have to abandon it for like 5 days. So that's the current plan. Get what you're saying, bro. I've already moved sometimes. Yeah, exactly. I've moved before too, Jeremy. But it's kind of weird because this is the first time I'm moving where like I'm not a student. Like I'm not. I like last time I moved, I was a student, but you know, I'm moving to like an apartment that I'm sharing, or it's actually technically we're renting a condo that I'm sharing with my girlfriend. So it's gonna be a big like life adjustment, but it's good though. Where am I heading to? I won't say where specifically, but it's decently far away from where I live now. It's like a 4 hour drive in the car, so um, but no, I won't for privacy. I won't say where, but um, yeah, it's still in Canada. I'm not leaving the country. I'm not leaving the country or even the province that I'm in. So because Canada is a big country, so but no, I'm not leaving the country or anything. Just a different city. Yeah, no worries, Jeremy. No worries. I honestly wouldn't even mind like if you know if we were DMing, I'd probably let you know, but I just don't want to say it on the broadcast or on the broadcast on the live stream. Just you know for that. Um, yeah. No, I don't mind telling people individually more about myself. I just don't want it to be on the live. Um, but yeah, okay. So writing concise update logic with Immer, we already got that, I think. Yeah, you're probably better. I'm not saying it at all. To be fair, yeah. I don't know. I've told a couple people that I trust, like, not where I live exactly, but you know, a little bit more detail. Um, got you, got you. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. I don't mind because like the place I'm moving to has like, you know, many people around, so it's not a big deal. But and there are there are influencers that say where they are located and stuff like that. Um, yeah. I mean, inevitably, like my information's out there anyway. So I mean, if you really went digging, you could probably find my LinkedIn or something. But so it's like it's not like it's I'm trying to remain anonymous. I just kind of want to like, if possible, I want to keep my like professional online. Yeah, information is public exactly. I want to keep though like just at least nominally. I want to keep my like professional like work life internet presence separated from my YouTube presence, generally speaking. But again, if you're close and we've chatted in the Discord, like, and I trust you, like, I don't mind like sharing stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Avoid recreating the initial state. Yeah. Things to avoid. Wait, do I already have avoiding common user? I already have this. User hook. We already got that. Reducers of pure functions. Just making sure I don't have duplicate. Avoid recreating initial state. So React saves the initial state once and ignores it on next renders. You finished your first AI project? Nice. That's awesome, Jeremy. You want me to take a look on the break? I'd be happy to. useReducer, create initial state, yeah. V1 is finished, you can test it. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind testing it all. As long as it can be tested in 5 minutes, it's all good. I'd be happy to. State dispatch, useReducer. Avoid recreating initial state. Pass on initializer. Avoid recreating initial state. Can pass an initial state creation function to the third argument of useReducer. E.g. useReducer. Reducer function and then state, or what was it? Is this the initial value? Oh yeah, the action, okay. Yeah, initial state. And then set initial state. Something like this, right? Would you ever switch to an IDE, by the way? I know you're currently on Obsidian, not your IDE. Yeah, so I don't know. The thing with the IDE is like I don't know, like I know with JetBrains IDE specifically you have to pay, and I am not interested in, I don't really have the budget to pay for an IDE necessarily, and I think JetBrains is also a subscription model. It's not one-time purchase, right? Like I know JetBrains is let's see. Let's go to WebStorm. Yeah, pricing. Yeah, it's per month, yeah. You get JetBrains ID read for free DBs. Oh, nice. Yeah, we got in my databases course, we got JetBrains what was it? Data Grip. We got Data Grip for free. But no, I was actually thinking of like, so I have VS Code. I don't know if there's any like other free IDs. I know somebody a long time ago told me about the Zed editor, but that's not an IDE, I don't think. Zed, like ZED. It's a test editor or text editor. You just showed my student ID and have it until I got. Oh, got you, nice. You mean your student ID? Oh, okay. Yeah, because Zed is a text editor, right? Like it's not an IDE, like it's a different thing. ID, not IDE. I figured, Casey. Let's see, like free IDEs. I don't even know like for web dev. Like I don't even know what's out there for like IDEs, because I know IDEs and text editors are different, right? Go to full. Okay, so they have, yeah. So Visual Studio IDE. That's not really. Yeah, it's all like either JetBrains or Apache NetBeans, but like that's like old as hell, isn't it? I don't know. I'll probably just stick to VS Code for, time being, I guess. VS Code is probably your best right now if you're not willing to pay for IntelliJ. Yeah, I can't. It's not really in my budget, to be honest with you. Like, let me go to the paying. Let's go to the payment page. I just want to see. Pricing. Okay, so I get. That's with all of the things, though. Get individuals. Yeah, per month. Or wait, all products pack. It's pretty expensive. Yeah, so, okay, so per month. Or sorry, per year, I would have to pay US $200 for all of the tools, it looks like. Which is pretty expensive. That's like 200 and what? Let's see. USD to CAD. Let's do 200 USD. 273 Canadian. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Per year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's USD. So that's 273 Canadian dollars. Yeah, so I don't know. And then the monthly, yeah, is 1990. It's like 27 Canadian a month. Yeah, I don't know. At no point if VSE does the job. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could theoretically afford it. Like, I'm not broke. Like, I could afford it, but I'm also cheap. Like, I'm a cheap bastard, right? So I don't really wanna. If it's $200 I don't need to spend, like, I won't probably spend it. But like, I could, like, theoretically. But there's other more important things I need to pay for, like my car insurance payment, which is like, I don't know how much that is. Like, per month, my car insurance is like $160. Like, shit like that. Praying for IntelliJ is crazy. Or paying for IntelliJ? Is it? You just pirate it, Kune? I guess you can just pirate it too. That's the other option. Avoided, yeah, okay. We already got this part. Yeah, so there's passing the initializer function. Which you have this and then you pass. Yeah, exactly. I could pirate it, but I don't know. I generally don't like to do that. I've pirated shit in the past, but I don't know. I don't want to, like, use VS Code. Nice. I do too as well, Kune. I use Obsidian for notes and then VS Code for projects. Producer username, and then the initial state creation is here. Okay. So runs during initialization. So yeah, only initializer. Jesus Christ. Set initial state will only run once during initialization. Initial, yeah, okay. Good. It's technically not, it's just a variable. Passing the initial state directly, create initial state, and then we run the initial state here. Could also run the function in the second argument. Could also call the second function. Call set initial state in the second argument, like useReducer reduce function, and then set initial state like this. Cool. Troubleshooting. Should probably bring this forward. Troubleshooting. Dispatch an action, but logging gives me the old state value. Calling dispatch does not change state in the running code. Dispatch sets or initiates a re-render, but that re-render does not occur immediately. I think I actually ran into this problem once. Yeah, updating state requests another render with these requests. I should say requests. New state value does not affect the state JavaScript variable. You need to guess the next state value. You can calculate it manually by calling the reducer yourself. React will ignore the update if the next state is equal to the previous state. Okay. React ignores updates that are visually, sorry, not even visually, that do not change state, i.e. passes object.is check. New and old state pass, I should say. This often happens when state is attempted to be modified directly, which cannot happen as state is immutable. Good. Oh, yeah, right. You modified it directly in the reducer function. In the reducer function specifically, you have to return. So, like, for example, state.name equals action.nextName, return state will not work. Must return new objects, like return state, and then state dot a name equals action dot next name, like this, right? Yes, or just name I guess, because it's just, that's the state. Okay, cool. Let's take our 5-minute break. I hope all of you are having a good Monday evening / night / Tuesday morning / afternoon. It's Monday afternoon if you're behind me. I had a pretty chill Monday. Boss was sick today, so you know that usually means it's chill. 11:49 for you, got you. Yeah, I know if you're in Europe, it's like around midnight. Yeah. But like some people out west, like if you're in California, it would be like 3 something. It's already in Tuesday, got you. I thought maybe it would be for some of you. Since you're in Germany, got you, yeah. Yeah, it's, what would it be, 12:50 a.m. there? Or like 0:50? You're using 24-hour time? Yeah. Yeah, in North America, we generally use, I know this is true for a lot of different day, yup. I know for a lot of non-North American countries, they use 24-hour clocks, but in North America, we use AM, PM, like 12-hour. We have 12:50 a.m.? Nice, okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure, because I know different countries have different conventions. So or some use both. I don't know. Like when I went to Portugal 7 years ago, or more than that. I guess it was 8 years ago, almost. Please check out your project. Right, I forgot about that. Forgot about your project. Sorry. But we had to use 24-hour time. Hold on, let me check it. Sorry. Let me go to. Okay. Your first AI agent. An intelligent research assistant powered by GPT-4, O4 Mini, and LangChain. Automatically searches the web, queries Wikipedia, and saves structured research results in a file. Okay, so you're using so LangChain. So I guess that kind of connects the model to your app, right? Probably. or something. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, LangChain Classic, like agent framework. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's see. How to run project, an open API key. Yeah, so the thing is I can't set up the environment necessarily right now because I don't have an OpenAI API key. But this looks really cool. Like you've got like, I guess this is the chat here, right? So you basically now, it's not just like rote, because I remember before, Jeremy, you had, it was just giving you like, you know, hard-coded answers, but this actually will like essentially query the model directly, right? So basically your app kind of acts as an intermediate between, you know, you and the model. That's pretty cool. But that teaches you a lot about like, yeah, like API tooling and stuff like that. And like specifically in Python, right? That's cool. LLM agents work the React loop, reason, act, observe, repeat. Okay, so you got like what you learned out of here, and then you got like some improvements. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I will like maybe set this up like later on, but yeah, I don't use OpenAI or have a key or anything like that. But if you eventually get this to a point where it's on like a web, you know, website or something like that, then you know, I could check it out then. You can ask it everything and it'll give you the answers. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I believe you. That's cool. Okay, so you can use, and this is cool too, is you have like different tools that you can use. So you have like a search tool that queries DuckDuckGo, and then you have like a wiki tool and a save tool. So this would be like to save your chats or something, right? You will improve it with Streamline, so as a UI. That's awesome. I'm excited to see how you improve it, Jeremy. It looks really great so far, though. I'm not really a Python, like I do know Python, but I'm not aware of like how to do AI stuff with Python, so I couldn't really like give you a code review or anything like that. But I mean, just at like a glance, the code looks really clean. Like you've got all your, you know, imports here, and you got like a chat prompt template. It's pretty cool. Can you check the code? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. I'll just get started the timer here. Because this, I guess, technically counts as working, giving a code review. Even though I'm not really good at code reviews, I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so this comes from the LangChain. That's cool. Pydantic output parser. Let me like zoom this in a little. And you have a try except here. That looks fine. You've got everything spaced out really nicely. And then this is kind of adding like context to the model so that it knows, you know, what it is, I guess. That's cool. Okay. Tools.py. Yeah, I don't know enough, you know, Python to really give much of a critique, but you've got like your search tool here, which is like basically just calling this. Search comes from where? Search comes from DuckDuckGo search run, which is from the LangChain community. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you're importing that. And then you return that, so then you call search tool like in one of these things. Probably you call search tool in here maybe? Let's see. Agent executor. Yeah, okay, so you got your tools as a list here. Yo, sup, JMac. We're just taking a look at Jeremy's little chatbot project here. uv.lock, I don't know what this is. Not gonna lie. I'm not an AI expert, but it looks pretty cool. Your code looks really clean, man. The only thing I don't really understand is where the I guess it's just in the command line, right? So it takes a query and then it kind of gives you, I'm assuming you can type in like what tool you want to use or something, right? Or does it choose which tool to use based on the question? Low-key need to review some Python. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Python is something else for sure. It's very versatile. Topic lane change, sorry. Yeah, I think the only thing I don't understand right away is... Okay, so you got a project structure here. That's cool. Project dependencies. So tools, yeah. Is like when you type a question, does it choose which tool to use on its own? Like, so whether it does DuckDuckGo or Wiki, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I don't know. I couldn't find out. But other than that, look, it looks good. Yeah, it's CLI tool. Yeah. No, it's good, Jeremy. I'll leave the tab open. Okay, so let's go through this again. Dispatch to action, but the screen doesn't update. We got that already. A part of my reducer state becomes undefined. A part of the reducer state becomes undefined after dispatch. Make sure that every case branch copies all the existing fields. Because the return statement does not return all other fields of the new state. Example, return age is new age, action.new age, instead of causes this issue, I should say. Return state and then age equals action dot new age. Proper pattern. Use spread operator to copy all other data. DuckDuckGo is for searching and wikis for backing up, so it doesn't give you data that's not backed up. Oh, I got you. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. My entire reducer state becomes undefined. Yeah, so that's probably due to an unknown. Entire state. Hey, what are we working on now? We are working on finishing up learning state reduction in React. Whenever you join, just for, and this is no, you know, knock or anything, but whenever you like don't know what I'm doing in stream, just feel free to like, yeah, you can ask, but also the exclamation point working on. I know I don't like put that anywhere obvious, but that'll give you, I update Nightbot and the stream description every stream to reflect what I plan on doing. So yeah, that's what's happening. We're studying Odin Project for this stream, next stream, and the stream after that. Wednesday, so today, tomorrow, Wednesday. And then after that, I will be on a little short So Lost. It's been a while since you joined. Yeah, no worries, Anime. I'm still on React, though. I'm about to be finished the React course, for context. I think you were here before when I was doing React. But yeah. Then I'll be on a little 5 or 6 day hiatus because I'm going to be moving. But I'm going to let everyone know again multiple times. You're going to get sick of me. I'm gonna let the Discord know again. I'm gonna actually probably put out a channel post. I don't normally do stream updates on my channel, but for something big where I'm taking more than a couple days off, I think it's important to let the channel know. So I'll probably put out a channel post, also mentioning that I'll be off until Monday at the very earliest, after Wednesday. So yeah. Okay. So let's see. Entire reducer state becomes undefined. That means you moved like twice in a month? No. I haven't moved yet, Anime. I've just been prepping to move. I haven't actually done the move yet. I've been like the last month I've been organizing the move. Like we had to find a place and then we had to, sign a bunch of paperwork and stuff like that. No, I'm still in the spot where I originally started. But I'm actually like moving on Friday, so. Probably there is a path in the, there's a, I don't know what I should say, logic branch in the reducer function without a return. Still need to find a place in Toronto? Yeah, good luck. Dang, you postponed? No, well, we were gonna originally, actually, we never postponed Anime. Trying to learn Python for scripting, nice. No, we were originally planning to move in June 1st, but, we had to kind of, like, be competitive, so we had to push our move date up to May 15th. So I'm moving on Friday, May 15th. But we've had the place now for, or we haven't had it, I shouldn't say, but we've had the lease signed for like 3 weeks at this point. 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, good luck finding a place in Toronto. It's not easy. Although easier now, I will say it's probably easier now than it was a couple years ago. I think. A couple years ago it was like peak garbage for finding shit in Toronto. However, if you're okay with having used TypeScript, yeah, I generally do. However, this is Obsidian. I'm taking notes. But yes, I do use TypeScript. If you're fine with having roommates, JMac, you'll be fine. I would say the workplace in a tent, yeah. You could join the tent city in Queen's Park. You really need to learn TypeScript, yeah. Well, if you want like guidance, Anime, like you can watch my previous streams or also just like chat to me in the Discord or whatever. Like I'm around. Like I'm not gonna say I'm a TypeScript guru. I've only been doing TypeScript for like 2.5 months probably, but I know a thing or two about it at this point. But again, the other thing that I will say is the TypeScript handbook is really good stuff. This is like has all the information you're gonna need to know when you're using TypeScript. You just want to check out UFC St. George. Seems like a nice campus. It's a beautiful campus. I've been many times. So 2.5 is enough to make you a guru. No, I was joking. I was saying I'm no guru. I'm not a guru. But I know a thing or two. That's kind of what I was mentioning. No, I'm not a. In DC? Well, I mean, sure, I can, but it's just typescriptlang.org here. I'll place it in the stream chat. There, you can check it out there. There you go. Yo, what up, Jay? Entire reducer state becomes undefined. Yeah, we already got that. I'm getting an error, too many re-renders. So it's probably like infinite loop. Too many re-renders. Error. Read what your previous students. No worries, anime. No worries. Too many re-renders. Error K. Yeah. Probably, or infinite loop. React limits number of renders. Unconditionally dispatching. Action during render. Which causes a loop, infinite loop. As dispatches, request re-renders. Reducer, our initializer function runs twice. In strict mode, React will call your reducer and initializer functions twice. This shouldn't break your code. This is expected behavior in strict mode. Keeps components pure. React uses the result of one of the calls, ignores the result of the other call. This is to keep components pure. Remember, for arrays specifically, replace the array instead of modifying it if the state is an array. Okay, yeah. Calling extra time doesn't make a difference in behavior. Only component initializer and reducer functions need to be pure. Only components. Yeah. Cool. I think that's it for that useReducer documentation. We've got our steps, and then good. All right. Refs and memoization. Alrighty. And then this will be the last lesson in the React course. And then after this, I'm going to move on to the databases course. As I was saying earlier, for anyone that just joined, I was going to start a new project, but with my move coming up, I don't really want to start a project and then have to leave it for like 4 or 5 days, and then like have to figure out, like, get my bearings straight again. Plus, I'd also kind of want to, I was thinking about it more and more, I kind of want to learn at least the Odin level, yeah, there's a database course. I want to learn the Odin level of backend before I get into project building, I think. At least for stream specifically. But yeah, so there's a databases course. It's very short, anime. It's just like teaching you SQL basically. So I'll probably like the thing with the databases course is like I already know databases at a fairly decent level. So I honestly might do this part. The backend will fly by too. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even like databases in uni was so funny. Yeah, exactly. I might even do this like off stream. Dude, we had the same shit with ours. It was this algebra bullshit. You had to like put it into formal like algebra. Shit, like what was it, like relational databases algebra. It was like this type of thing. With the operators, like the different Greek letters. What was the relational algebra? I guess it's just relational. Yeah, this shit. Yeah. Selection, projection, cross product. Yep. Yeah, thank goodness. No kidding. This is what that ours was the exact same. We had to translate like queries into algebra. Like yeah, like this. This shit. Yeah. What am I going for the back end? So the back end, I'll probably do that databases course. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we do. There's BCNF, and then there was also like third normal form, fourth normal form, or whatever it is. So like different levels of just to kind of organize, normalize data, I guess, which is good to do. They are, yeah. Like at work, our databases are 3NF, or generally speaking, they're 3NF. We try anyway. But then you get like some non-tech person that goes in there, and then they just fuck it all up. But I'll probably honestly like skim the. I'm not gonna. Well, I won't skim it, but I'll probably do this like reading because this is like I'm not gonna probably take notes on this. I'll probably read this stuff off stream because I don't really want to just read on stream. Database first and backend. Yes, exactly, anime. I'll probably do a lot of this reading off stream, and then I'll do the SQL zoo on stream or something like that. Just for fun, I'll do that. That'll be like one stream, not even probably. If it's just like writing queries. But anyway, but yes, yeah, databases then backend, and then the backend is is longer. We learn Express, authentication methods, ORM, APIs, testing, and a couple full stack projects. So where's Waldo and messaging app? But I'll probably, these can, I don't know. I'll do these in tandem with other things. Anyway, because I have some other project ideas and some collaborations I may do in the near future. So I'll, have you done testing in React? I have, anime. I don't remember off the top of my head which streams exactly, but if you go back a few streams, I did. You'd like Drizzle better? Yeah, I've seen Drizzle before. I was actually watching when I made my decision, Jay, about like just continuing through the Odin project, like kind of today, because I was thinking like, do I, go ahead and do my collab with who? You'll see. Don't worry. But yeah, no. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I was watching Web Dev Simplified set up a TanStack project because I wanted to see what TanStack was all about because I know you guys have been mentioning it. And I was like, okay, this is good, but I want to like before I get into like something like TanStack Start or whatever that is, I want to at least do my due diligence and go through the backend course because I feel like that'll just give me that. I don't really want to learn ad hoc. I want to like learn like in a organized way and then jump into that stuff. At least with my own projects. Okay. So anyway, let's stop waffling. MERNStack, yeah. So it's MongoDB, Express React Node, right? Prisma ORM, yeah. You don't think I might want to get into TanStack? I don't know. I've just heard of TanStack being a discussed thing. Cool. All right. How can we do domination? Is even possible in React because it's declarative nature. As we all know, when a state has been changed, React will try to re-render the component. TanStack sounds good. I'm just gonna learn it before I abandon web dev. Nice. What's the app to take notes, Jonathan? It is called Obsidian. You can find a link to it here. BenStack is cool. It's a free app, Jonathan. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard I would rather do TanStack than Next because I've heard Next has some issues. And I think it's worse. The full stack scene is headed. No worries, Jonathan. But yeah, okay. As you all know, when a state has been changed, React will try to re-render the component. Because I got an internship in compilers and I don't want to touch web dev again. Fair enough, JMac. I gotta say JMac because then I'll get the two J's confused. Mental model also works for regular function. Okay, the useRef hook. Allows value management that is not used for rendering. Alternative to state. But not updating it does not trigger re-renders. Heading back, I'll try and hop on again. No worries, Jay. I appreciate you dropping by. By next, you mean Next.js? Yeah, I do anime. Yep. I've heard Next.js has like, there was something about it having some sort of weird security vulnerability and I didn't really want to fuck around with it. Plus it, like, the other thing too is like Next seems like really bloated. Like I remember in university, there was some kid that was like a full stack guy and he was working on a Next project and there was just so much bullshit. Like I know TanStack, yeah, I mean, they're all kind of, that's kind of how they all are. And I'm kind of realizing that now, like there's a lot of just files and configs and all this like JSON files, you know, for whatever. It's just kind of this bloated mess. But I think Next.js is like the epitome of that. That and TanStack, you know, is the new thing, right? Kind of want to learn the latest. Yeah, no, I'm not saying Next is bad necessarily. I just, I don't know. If I have a choice, because I haven't started yet, I might as well choose the hot thing, right? I mean, I guess anyone could say that about like AI or whatever it is, but all right. Yeah. Productivity, not the best. I was actually, honestly, I don't know. I was thinking about like doing like, no, because I like interacting with chat, so it's kind of like a win-win. But I don't know. I was thinking maybe I could do like a no talking stream, but that would also be boring. I wanna be engaging too, so it's kind of like, I don't know. But I know some streamers do like no talking streams. But I don't know. I don't mind going at a slower pace. Do I have intentions of doing data science? Not really, anime. At least not like in a traditional sense. Because data science is kind of tangential to, or it's like tangential to web development and software development. It's not quite the same. I mean, it is tech. You having to reduce my coding project to learn Blender so you can complete my project in 3JS? Oh, got you. That actually sounds really cool. What's your project, Jonathan? Learning Blender is another whole can of worms. I am not like, even though I'm learning web dev, I wouldn't call myself a web designer. I'm not a very good designer, like visual person. Do I stream on platforms other than YouTube? I tried to anime. I tried to stream to Twitch as well. But my internet, at least where I live now, couldn't handle it. But I'm planning on trying dual streaming after I move. But no, right now it's just YouTube. I know that limits my reach. Like, I guess I could stream to Twitch. But if I do dual stream, it'll just be YouTube and Twitch. I don't plan on using X. I don't use X. I don't use Kick. I don't use any other platforms. Just on principle, generally. I did have a Blue Sky, but I don't really use Blue Sky either because I find it, like, I don't know, kind of sucks you in. But no, just YouTube and Twitch. I plan on dual streaming when if my internet where I move can handle it. X renaming is so strange, yeah. Like Twitter X. Yeah, when it comes to designs, I'm ass. Either I let someone handle it or give it to an AI. That's fair, anime. I try to still do the designs myself, at least for things that I create. But I have no shame using like component libraries, or at least I will. Hey, today I started HTML and want to do SaaS about restaurant proof of service systems. That's awesome, no name. That's really cool. But you're, on your way. But that's great. So, what are you using to learn? Because you can use the Odin Project, you can use Free Code Camp, you can use all sorts of things. How can you start? Oh, you're asking how you can start. Well, one way is the Odin Project, which is a free and open source web development curriculum. And you can just start right at the beginning. It starts you right with HTML and CSS. I've gone through it. I'm on stream 81. All my streams from stream number 1, all the stream 81 are on my channel, and you can check those out. And I go through the Odin Project right from the beginning. And you can kind of follow along with me. No name if you want, like, basics, then Odin Project. Yeah, that's fair. If you're a brand new beginner, KC makes a good point. If you're a brand new beginner, you should do Free Code Camp, like responsive web design, and then go into Odin Project. I only started with Odin Project because I already had some coding knowledge, and I could kind of make that jump. But like if you go to Free Code Camp, what the hell? Okay. And then you go to responsive web design, you could probably like start off with at least this basic HTML and like CSS section, right? And this kind of like will hold your hand through building stuff, right? But yeah. Anyway. Because again, if you have no idea what you're doing, Odin Project could be a little bit advanced. At least at the beginning. But, I mean, it's still pretty easy. If you don't mind, like, struggling through problems and reading documentation, then you could start off right with Odin Project. Am I starting to apply to jobs or still holding off? Still holding off, JMac. Probably won't start applying for another, I don't know, probably, I was thinking like end of this year maybe, into next year. I don't know. I feel like it's going to take me longer. I want to finish off the Odin project, and then, because I still haven't done any backend, I want to do some backend, and then build a couple projects first, I think. Because, yeah, sure, it's like I have a front-end foundation now, but I don't know. And plus, like, again, my current job, while it is, like, kind of boring, no worries, no name, I appreciate you joining. Might be worth your apply if you still have new grad status. Yeah, true. I mean, do I have new grad status if I graduated last year? I guess, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing is my current job, even though it's boring, it does afford me time. Like it's a decent work-life balance. It's not overbearing, so I can, like, have energy to do these streams. Within a year or two, yeah, okay. So I'm still new grad. I'll be new grad, like for another year then probably. Okay, let's see what Jonathan said. I want to create a 2D mapping into 3D, e.g. football, so using position of player 2D and 3D models. Later learn algorithms to translate probability of movement. That's really cool, Jonathan. That's awesome. That's, like, complicated, but it sounds really sick. I'm not gonna lie. So, like, when you say football, like, European football. Just because I'm in North America, we say soccer, but I'm assuming you mean European football. A lot of postings cater to new grad, yeah. That's fair. You want to land an internship but don't know how to? You just got to apply, anime. You got to BS your resume a little bit. Maybe massage it. Okay, don't lie on your resume, but not just, like, any skills that you do have, just overemphasize them. Don't lie, but just you got to overindulge yourself a little bit. You have to, because the point of like getting, when you're getting an internship, you have to sell yourself a little, right? Do I think I'll learn Python? I'm not sure. JS, I'm not sure. Maybe in the future. Spam apply and LARP, yeah, exactly. Just what JMac said. Exactly that. Luckily, my college, if you finish the course I'm doing, you get a guaranteed internship, although you go on to university. Yeah, that's like, we have that here in Canada, Casey, but they're harder to get into. They're called guaranteed co-op programs. Guaranteed co-op programs, which are more difficult than just regular stream. Or regular stream, like regular degrees. You got to learn Py. Yeah, I mean, I already do know Python. I just don't know like all of the things that you can do with Python. But I know it as a language. I might look into doing like backend with Python or something. All right, let's lock back in here. Gonna do car sports first because it'll be easier as cars normally stuck to the ground. Oh, that's fair, Jonathan. That's cool. That's really cool stuff. I'm, you know, that's awesome. Trying to land a remote intern job in Canada, not gonna lie, I think it's hard. Yeah, it is hard. I got lucky. It honestly was luck. It was a bit of luck, and also I had a contact that I knew. Not nepotism necessarily, but I had somebody that gave a good word, put in a good word, to get me in. So yeah, it was kind of difficult. I had to pull all the levers, and it wasn't my first choice either. I tried to get another internship somewhere else, and I was not successful. But you know, that's why I went into IT, because it was what I got. You're still probably behind me in progress, so have a good idea, but still a long way ahead. No worries, Jonathan. We're all on this journey together, man. We're all on this journey together. What tips do you think I can give you? Honestly, yeah, as JMac said, you just have to like take the skills that you currently have and exaggerate them, and kind of, you know, sell yourself. That's all you can do, even if you're over embellishing a little bit. I have to say it was the hardest but most rewarding position to get into. Nice, Casey. I want to eventually do maybe freelance or like consulting on the side as well. I was even thinking of starting there before I applied to places. I also probably, you know, I probably have to, like, once I get good at full stack and make a few projects by complete hand, I probably have to like get into like learning a little bit about AI. I don't want to, but it's probably what I'm going to need to do. But I'm leaving that. That's like well into the future. I'm not even thinking about that right now. But I'll probably have to at some point. Freelance is harder. Fair enough. I actually do already kind of have a freelance opportunity through a family member that I'm going to explore. But yeah, I agree generally. Or I mean, that could be true. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I'm correct. How did it go? Because I did engineering. Kind of regret not doing computing. I did computer science, Jonathan. Yeah. I don't regret it. I think it was good. You will have to learn AI, but not for your base work, but for help. Yeah, exactly, Casey. I think I don't regret you doing computer science. It taught me a lot of fundamentals like data structures and algorithms, a lot of discrete mathematics, which gave me a lot of foundational problem-solving skills that I can now apply to learning web development. Full stack is not strong. I want to make it better. Well, you can, anime. I'm going from an IT course in college to cybersecurity and uni. I pray I get in. You'll definitely get in. I'm sure, Casey. You're a smart fellow. You will definitely get in. Building web applications, sometimes you need more direct control over specific elements in the DOM. The user F hook comes to rescue. Yeah, okay. Comes in handy. Comes in, I shouldn't say that. Useful for providing a way to interact with and access DOM elements. What am I up to now? Just arrived 10 minutes ago. I'm currently up to learning, I'm at the very end of the React course, Jonathan. So it's with the Odin Project. And I'm learning about refs and memoization. And you can see there, you can also do exclamation mark working on every stream, and I update that. Maybe you'll be a senior web developer making big bucks by the time I'm over and done with uni. I don't know, Casey. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm studying / chatting chat. I kind of do both. But I'm not really too concerned about not making a lot of progress on streams, because just chatting to you guys is, and helping you guys out is also what I'm here for. So, but yeah, I have a day job too, Jonathan. So I do my day job 9 to 5, and then I do streams in the evenings, on weekends, or on weekdays, I should say. On weekends, I stream either in the morning or afternoon, my time, which is Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Button component, button ref.current. Day job learning web development, you're dedicated. Yeah. Is my day job related to computing? Yeah, it's IT, Jonathan, yeah. You can also read my FAQ here if you're curious. Just a little intro into who I am. But yeah, I work in IT. I'm a tier 2 IT analyst, or IT analyst. I won't say where for privacy, but yeah. Okay, so we can interact with the DOM. So we have the button component, button ref.current.focus, and then button ref, and then ref. So we do the ref inside of this. Oh, okay, so then the ref is like, can attach a reference or a ref to an element that is returned to the DOM, like so. And then I can like put this example in here. So you can see like attaching the button ref to the button element that is returned, right? Nice. You live in the UK, currently not in my area, neither engineering or programming, currently on sales, but getting my free time to path my way into what I like, and your series helps a lot. Thanks. No worries, Jonathan. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, okay. So I actually, for reference, I started in biology. So I totally get what you mean. My first degree, I spent 5 years from when I was 17 to 22 in biology. So I didn't even start CS until I was 22. So, you know, we all start at different times. So don't feel like you're behind or anything, because we're all at different stages and all at different ages, right? There's no, you're never too old, you're never too young. My opinion. So, yeah, I've been coding, I guess, seriously, at least for school, for 2.5 years. A little more than that. Almost 3, actually. If you include, I did some prerequisite courses. So yeah, almost 3 years I've been coding seriously. How can I have focus method when the initial value is null? Should I not by rendering printing and screen comes first? So I should say the rendering and screen painting comes before the use effects. So the button is attached by the time it runs, I think. Yeah. Do I have a Discord channel? I do. I do indeed. You can join here and chat to my community. Was med the original plan? It actually wasn't, JMac. It was teaching. I wanted to be a high school teacher. But I also liked biology, like just as an interest. No, it was I wanted to be a teacher. So I was in concurrent education, which is like you can do like a mainstream like STEM or whatever it is, like biology, chemistry, and then alongside education, and you can do those both together. I think you know, yeah. If you're in Canada, you probably know what Con Ed is. But anyway, so I was doing that. Dropped out of Con Ed after a year because it sucked, and then I continued on with biology. And then at this point, COVID just hit, right? So I was like, I had no idea what the. I was 19 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, you know, and then I kind of just like sat around and was like kind of depressed for a couple of years, finishing my biology degree, and then I was like, and then I decided in my 5th year of my degree to switch to computer science, and I applied. I did some prerequisite courses like calculus and you know, basic like intro CS course and stuff like that, just to get those prerequisites under my belt, and like linear algebra and stuff, so that I could apply to computer science. And I did that at the end of 2022, in the beginning of 2023. All right, I gotta go. Tutorials 210. Got you, anime. Best of luck. Don't think I could ever teach high school. When I think about people I know back in high school, I just know it'd be a bad time. Yeah, I honestly, I think it's because, in my case, I had a really, really, really good biology teacher that I looked up to, and he really inspired me to learn. And I guess, like, you know, part of what I'm doing on the stream isn't too dissimilar to teaching, I guess, even though I'm not really teaching. You guys are teaching me just as much as I'm teaching anyone else. But anyway, what I was going to say is he kind of inspired me to get into that. And he was a really good teacher. And at 17, you don't know what the F you want to do at 17, right? So I was like, oh, I guess teaching, I don't know, stay in my hometown, do teaching. And I liked biology, so I was like, you know, that's the natural thing. You know, and I also hated my math teacher, so I didn't even do high school calculus. So I couldn't have even gone into CS if I wanted to, out of high school at least. So yeah, that's my story. I don't know. I had to do calculus late. I didn't even do anything past grade 11 functions until I was 21. And then I caught up. I got my grade 12 math in university, and then did a bunch of stuff like that. I got my university calculus, all that after. Need to dip because it's already 38 a.m. Thanks for the live. No worries, Jonathan. Have a great night. I appreciate you being here. But yeah. Anyway, enough yap. But yeah, basically, I didn't do any math past grade 11 until I was, like 21. So I basically had to, like, you know, go from nothing. But it turns out math is easy. At least that math. I got like 99 in those courses. Okay, let's see. But no, scrolling to a specific position. For example, we can change the use effect in the above snippet to do the following: change the button's text. After 2 seconds, change the text back. Should not do this and only use useRef for non-destructive DOM operations. Okay, yeah, I should say that. Only use useRef for non-destructive DOM operations. So that's like, Jesus, i.e. modifying text content or something, or DOM structure. Not modifying DOM, okay. The interesting thing about this is that it'll never trigger component re-render. Why not use query selector or other DOM manipulation methods that we've done previously? Dealing with the DOM ourselves defeats the purpose of using React, and whether possible we should let React commit to the DOM. Why not use query selector or other DOM manipulation methods? Should rely on React as much as possible. Let React commit to the DOM itself. Am I learning on a website? It's harder than watching a video of someone explaining. I'm learning on the Odin Project, no name, so you can find it here. I think I already mentioned it, but yeah, it's just documentation. I actually learned better reading documentation and recapitulating the knowledge myself. Like, so you can kind of see like through my study method that I do on you know. And again, this probably doesn't work for everybody, but for me, this is what I do: is I read the documentation. Okay, I read the article or whatever it is, and then I take the information, synthesize it in my head, and then rewrite it kind of in my own summarized format. And then that kind of like, I'm like going through the documentation as if it's a story in my head, and then kind of like, okay, and then kind of like connecting pieces as I go, and then using the notes kind of as a way of putting what I'm thinking down, just so that it makes sense. It's like organizing my thoughts. That's why I write notes. It's not necessarily because I need the notes to refer back to, even though I do. I write notes so that I can. It's like a sounding board for my head when I'm reading this information. It just kind of gives me an extra, outlet for that. Okay, so the use memo hook. Use memo. All the examples, we advise you to use the profiler component that is provided in the React module. What is this? Lets you measure rendering performance of a React tree programmatically. Ah. Interesting. If you want a more interactive alternative, use the profile in the React developer tools to measure rendering performance. Yeah, okay, so can use the React profiler components, then link to that. Within the app component, or wrapping, I guess, to measure render performance. Okay. Use memo, adds memoization. Used to optimize expensive or complex calculations. Optimizes complex or large, I should just say large calculations. Has similar dependencies as like use effect, right? It's like, it's kind of a similar deal, I think. Yeah, so use memo here. It's like a very similar. Yes, the hook's parameter is the same as use effect hook, you already know. Has same parameters generally and structure. The return value from the use memo hook is stored. I think it's the return value. Yes, the hook's parameter, calculate value, callback in a dependencies array. Our cart component, we have the total price of the products calculated directly inside. Every time the component is rendered or updated, the calculation is performed from scratch. Reduce method iterates over, okay. Memoizes the results of products.reduce total products, which calculates the total price of all products the user has in their cart. This may be expensive. Total will only be recomputed when the list of products changes, not when the user opens and closes their cart tab. Or, yeah, I'll say that. Which, yeah. Referential equality checks. Supposed to be a great exercise in reading code and visualizing how it works. There's probably there's the embed here, right? Yeah, it's probably gonna want me to fork this guy, right? Open editor. Okay, so we have a button that does this weird double while loop with a lot of iterations before a return. So this just arbitrarily introduces slowdown. Anything inside that is not controlled by React, destroyed, and re-execute. Functions, variables, etc. As a result, the function handle click is recreated each time in the prop on click. Alright, so I'm going to use memo help here. Am I teaching or just working? I'm just working, Mohammed. I'm just working. I'm studying this final lesson in refs and memoization on React as part of the Odin Project. All right, so that's the end of that working session. So I'm going to take another 5-minute break. So I'm going to actually go fill up my water because I want to get more water. And yeah, and then we'll do 2 more pommos, and then that'll be it for tonight. So yeah, I will see you in a minute. All right, I've returned. Thank you, Mohammed. I appreciate that. Crimping my carpet a little bit. There we go. Welcome back. Thank you. Yeah, just went to fill up water. That's pretty much it. It's also good to just, I would recommend too, if you're sitting a lot. I do have, within the new place, I'll have a sit stand desk. Actually, I need to play the rain sounds. Let me play those again. I'll have a sit stand desk, but, you know, right now I don't have that. But I ordered it to the new place, so maybe I'll do some standing up while I'm on stream. If the cords will stretch, they should be fine. But yeah, because yeah, again, if you're sitting for too long, and I find this too working from home is like I get kind of antsy if I sit longer than like an hour or an hour and a half or whatever. It's even if it's just 1 minute, get up, stretch your legs, walk around, go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever. Yeah. That's the beauty of doing it, like working from home too, is like you can do stuff like that and like not be judged, you know? Like I remember like I did in the office for my internship when I was an intern. I was in the office all summer and I remember like every time I went to the bathroom I felt kind of guilty. Like I'd go like not too frequently, but like I don't know, once every hour and a half or so because I needed to, just because I couldn't focus and I don't know. Felt like every time I got up I was like causing a disturbance, you know, because it was a shared office. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. Um, 10 out of 10 do not recommend going into work. I mean, if you're one of those kinds of people that likes to work in the office, then sure, but like I am not. I am very much a work from home person. I like my creature comforts, you know. I like my room, I like my having, you know, access to the kitchen. I like having, you know, not having to wear like stuffy clothes all day and just like hoodies and whatnot, you know. I don't know. All right. Let's get back into another 25-minute sesh here. Okay, so we have this like arbitrary slowdown. And then you likely want to have a separate button component where you can handle stylings and other things in it. Yeah, okay, I already read this. Memoize handle click. We also don't need to create a new function, but this is just to test these two functions. You can also directly do the following. So can memoize, let me actually get this example. Another example of memoization. And then here it's like introduce arbitrary slowdown. Can update the handle click function in the counter to memoize. React is a language, or is it just like CSS or something? Sorry for bothering you. No worries. Good night, man. See you. Appreciate you. No name. Thanks for coming by. React is a library on top of JavaScript, Mohammed. Technically, it's not a framework. Well, people say it's a framework, but it's more so a library. It's a library slash framework. I know there was some like semantic. I don't know. It's basically a superset. It provides more functionality for JavaScript, specifically web apps, making web apps front end. That's what React is. Yeah, so if you're familiar with JavaScript, you can get into React, right? So I'm learning how to use some hooks here. So anything in React that's prefixed with use is usually a hook of some kind, which is like a specialized function that performs specific functionality inside of your components, which are like these reusable blocks of code that also have, you know, like whether it's a UI element or whatever. Like here's a component called counter, right? And then basically you can have these hooks inside of here to do different things within these components. So this allows memoization, which is essentially caching complicated or large computations. We can use memo and wrap the button component in it to memoize the clicks so that the, what should I say? Or so memoize so that the button does not have to re-render, but this does not. However, this doesn't work. This is why I don't like JavaScript, by the way. Just like based on principle. Because look at how fucked this is. You have this initial arrow function for the use memo. And then you have another anonymous function to call setCount, which then itself is another. And then itself, it's another function to take in the previous state to modify the state. What a mess. So you have like 3 arrow functions. 3 arrow functions. It's just like disgusting syntax. However, actually I should probably put that here. Because whenever the button's state changes, a re-render occurs. Is there a way to fix this? Yes, there is. React can fix this with, can fix the above issue with a memo wrapper. Preventing the downward update that is triggered above the component. Because the button component, the update to the state here is triggered press state +1. So that's the count. So that's set count. Yeah. Okay. Because whenever the, I guess it's not the button, it's the counter. Which re-renders the button component as a result. I think that's right. So essentially, even if the button component isn't being re-rendered here, because the counter is being re-rendered due to this count state changing, it re-renders this return, which then re-renders the button component, even though it's the same thing. But you can memoize an entire component. I see. That's interesting. So base duration. The number of milliseconds estimating how much time it would take to re-render the entire profile subtree without any optimizations. There would be such a base. Number of milliseconds estimating how many it would take to re-render the entire. But I need to like re-change. I need to change this. Okay, so you memo it. The actual duration is the same. I don't know what this is doing here, because this presumably has that wrapped. Okay, so we have our button component, which is memoized here. And then we do the handle click. What do you think about web dev? Is it worth to learn? Is it what you need to start with, and how? Thank you. I think web dev is a great way to, and this is just my opinion, Mohammed. There are others that have different opinions, but and it also depends what you want out of development. But if you want a way to get into the software development world, you know, and you don't really know where to start, I think web development's a great place to start, because it's very well documented. There are lots of tools that you can learn. There's a lot of resources out there. You know, the HTML and CSS specifically are easy. to kind of get an idea of how things work on the web. It gives you an understanding of how to build projects that you can share anywhere because it's like web stuff, right? I don't know. I think it's really accessible. It's very versatile. The skills that you learn in web development can be applied in many different industries. I think there's a lot of demand for web development, at least generally speaking, because it involves, like, web development's involved in many different aspects of software development, right? And then from there, like, once you learn web development, you can branch off and learn, if you like backend more, like systems programming, you can go into systems and embedded systems and compilers and that shit. But you can also go into, if you like the front end more, you can go more into web design stuff if you want, or even like, UX, whatever. So it's kind of like I think it's a good starting point to kind of explore, what you like and what you don't like about software development and creating things and seeing whether the space is right for you. I don't know. That's my, I guess, advice. So I think it's worth to learn, if not just to explore what you may or may not like, right? um, that, and to also get your foot in software and start building things that actually like are easy-ish to make and satisfying. Like, I like the idea, like, with web development, that like when I make a project, it's something that I can quite easily share with other people and very accessible, widely applicable too. Okay, so there's the scenarios that can happen. If you passed handle click and the button component has a memo, it will still re-render. Referential equality check fails. If you pass memoized handle click and the button component has a memo, it will not re-render. Okay, so then what we can do is we can fork this. And then I think we can update that, because I think the re-render was still happening. Right? Yeah. So the re-render is still happening, which we can change because we need to put the memoized handle click inside of this guy. And then we can click. It should like be working though. Yeah, see, there we go. So the base duration was 60 milliseconds. The actual duration was 0.09. Right? Which is exactly what we want. Cool. For this still, however, this still requires the above optimization, or the above use memo as the referential, as without it, the referential quality fails, i.e. the counter will differ as the counter value is state, not in use memo. I don't know, that's kind of still weird. This works with all values that will be passed as a prop. Use callback. Use callback. Provides another way to memorize a value, not just any value. Only allows memoization of a function specifically. Use memo can memorize anything. To use callback, we don't need to do that. It's specifically made for functions. Instead of can be used in the case of handle click above in the following way. Whoops. Use memo for any value types and use callback specifically for functions. Use callback. Oops. Specifically for functions makes logic easier to read and follow. React compiler, which is a relatively new build time tool, can automatically optimize our React app. It will analyze our code and memorize appropriate components and hooks. In modern React, the React compiler will automatically memorize parts of code to improve the performance. Therefore, manually memoizing is not may run into manual memoization in older code bases. What am I doing, if I may ask? And sorry, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. No worries, Mohammed. I'm going through this documentation on refs and memoization and React. It's basically just learning about React, and I'm kind of going through the notes or the documentation, trying my best to understand it, and you know, I use notes as kind of a way of understanding the information that I'm taking in. So that's kind of what I'm doing, more or less. I also do build projects on stream as well. However, the next few streams are just going to be study streams for the most part, where I'm just kind of like reading documentation. But again, I do these live so you can see my entire process and, you know, understand kind of, I guess, what it looks like when someone learns these things. And again, there's multiple different right ways of doing this, right? And also just so you can follow my journey, and I like to be as transparent as possible with when it comes to like what my journey involves. You know, so that's yeah, pretty much. But no, I'm happy to answer your questions, Mohammed. That's also what I'm here for you as well. So if you have any questions about these things, like I'm happy to, you know, address them and stuff. Okay. Short answer, yes, blah, blah, okay. Lastly, there may be cases where you need more control over what gets memoized. May be cases where more control over what gets memoized is needed compared to what the React compiler can do on its own. Compiler will automatically use system making sure use effective dependency is memoized to ensure it doesn't change unnecessarily. Refs and memoization are difficult concepts, but we'll sure you understand them with practice. These topics also make it great for interview questions, so make sure you know the difference between use memo and use callback. Nice work, keep it up. Appreciate it, Mohammed. I appreciate you watching too. It really helps. If you ever want, you can get to the React DevTools extension in your browser and it'll let you see which components have been memoized by the compiler. Yeah, I actually think I have the extension. I have the React Dev tool here. AREN. I installed it earlier on for looking at components, the VDOM. So let's set up these articles here. When to use memo, use callback. Get this guy open. And then what was the next reference? Use ref hook docs. Did I call it official docs for this? Yeah, official docs. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Okay, we have those, and then the article use ref instead of query selector. Use ref instead of query selector. Making set interval declarative. The other thing, yeah, the thing that I noticed too with the Odin Project articles is a lot of them are like old. Like this one's what, 7 years old, February 4, 2019. I mean, they're still relevant probably, but something to note. React compiler docs. I'll probably just like do that off stream or something. Try React compiler. I guess it just like it comes auto, right? React does the React compiler come with React 19? Yes, the React compiler is a Babel plugin, but yeah, what does this say? Yes, the React compiler is a Babel plugin. Actually, let's see this. Does Vite include the React compiler? I don't actually know this. Whenever I create an app with Vite, it gives me the option of using the compiler. Got you. Interesting. I don't know if I ever recall it doing that for me. I can't remember if it did, Ren. I don't know. Because it's not something that I remember. Because I do like, you know, npm create Vite at latest, and then like dash template react dash ts or whatever. like this, and then I do like dot and then dash dash template React TS or whatever. I do like that. Anyway. All right. Got one more Palmo session. I'm going to take a 5-minute break though first. It might be because of the template. I just run npm create v at latest and it gives me a choice of JavaScript, TypeScript. Oh, I got you. Yeah. That's fair. I wonder if like, let's see Vite templates. Yeah, that's just how I did it. Templates. No, that's not it. Vanilla, Vue, React TS. Yeah, this is the template. But I don't know if it includes the compiler or not. It's almost 2 a.m. Good night, bro. And again, thanks. No worries, Mohammed. I appreciate you coming around. Good night. Yeah. Yeah, because this is the TypeScript alternatives here, right? Let me just look up like compiler. No, it's not even in this. New subscriber. Appreciate you, Mohammed. Thanks for subscribing. Every subscriber helps. Because I am not monetized. And I would like to be monetized, maybe, but, you know. I actually do have the subscriber requirement. I just need the watch hours. Because if you guys are going to look at ads, I would at least want to be compensated for them. I don't want it to all go to YouTube, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the compiler is automatically included. Let's just like look it up here. React compiler. That's TypeScript compiler. Plugin React. SWC. What is SWC? Oh, Speedy Web Compiler. Oh. It's 20x faster than Babel. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's for backward compatibility, maybe? Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like acquainted enough with Vite and like React to know how this is going here. Okay, so it's npm install Babel plugin React compiler at latest. So I would need to do that like with, because I haven't actually done that. Use Vite, you can add the plugin to your Vite plugin React. Ah, okay. Okay, that's actually good to know. I might keep this in my React bookmarks. Nano store. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that page should be how to add it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Ren. I'll look into that for my next project, for sure. However, I don't know. I'm probably going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing like for reference, like, so I'm almost done this React course, right? Which I've done on the last like 20 or so streams. So like refs and memoization is this last lesson, and then there's this little like conclusion blurb. And then I'm going to start on to I'm going to do this databases course real quick, and then learn Node.js for backend. I haven't actually, to this point, I've done 81 days. I have even touched backend. So I do like, though, that this does use Postgres, because I've used Postgres before with work, so that's cool. At least tangentially. And I've heard it's a good database. So, all right. So let's do one more Palmo session, and then I'm going to end stream for the evening because I have some things to do. Because I know if you're new here, I'm moving on Friday, so there's a lot to be done. So, all right. When to use memo and use callback. Here's a candy dispenser. Okay, so you can just like grab it. Candies dot length, button on click, set candies. Available candy. And then so if I grab it all, then we're out of candy. I see. And then otherwise we do the out of candy thing. Refill. That's the button. Now I want to ask you a question. I want to think hard before moving forward. Wrap the dispense function inside of use callback. Thanks. I appreciate the good luck, Ren. I'm actually moving in with my girlfriend, so yeah, it's a lot. It's been like a 1 month long process, honestly, like up to this point. Actually longer than a month. It's been like 6 weeks. So like because we had to get an agent, and then with the agent we had to do viewings, and then we had to find a place, and then we had to find a place that would agree to take us, which is harder than you'd think. And then we had to sign a bunch of paperwork, and then once we had the paperwork, then we needed to submit a lease offer, and then we needed to sign a lease, and then we needed to get insurance. And like it's so much like, ugh, I don't know. This is the first time I've like moved that wasn't like student housing. Like 'cause student housing, they make it easy for you because like, you're a student, you can kind of just like they know what you are, and like all these things. There's no like insurance or anything like this, right? But when it comes to like that's all covered by the school. But like when it comes to being an adult and like living like like you know in your own place, not with roommates, none of this, not no workarounds. It's all you have to do it all yourself. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I learned a lot about what not to do next time. So anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of work, just like packing, and now it's just like figuring out like, and like the thing is too, you have to be competitive when you are making a bid on a place, because at least where we're moving, it's a competitive market, and like so we had to move on May 15th instead of June 1st, so we could get in, because otherwise they may not have taken us, and like just a mess. So like yeah. Okay, so we're gonna use callback on this dispense function. So my question in this specific case. Yeah, but at least you've gotten through most of it now. You're almost done. Yeah, exactly, Ren. The thing I'm most stressed for now is just getting into the place and setting everything up. Because that's going to be a pain in the ass. And then I'm going to have to like go out and buy all like the stuff for the apartment. Well, we've already bought a lot of it. But like smaller things like filling it up with food, and yeah, I mean I have some food here, but there's going to be other things I need for it, and making sure that my girlfriend has what she needs, and buying other random shit like pillowcases, and like a duvet cover, and like just stuff like that. Um, so that's probably going to be, and then the other thing too is like we get internet included with our place, but we don't get the modem until Monday. So I can't, after Wednesday, I can't stream until at very least Monday. Because I'm not streaming off of data on my phone. That would be crazy. And also impossible. But yeah. But no, if you're, I'm gonna also make a channel announcement on Wednesday, letting my community know that I'm moving. Because there will be no content, no streams for like 5 days, at least. So, here's the original again. So here's my question: which is better performance? Probably. If you don't have unlimited data, then it would cost a lot too. Yeah, I have so I have 100 GB, Casey. I have 100 GB, which I only pay $45 a month for, which is a pretty good deal. But yeah, no, it would be impossible. I'm not streaming on. Plus, like we'll have other things to do. Like we'll be setting up the apartment and stuff. So I would blow through 100 GB on a stream though, like easy. I think, or at least a big chunk of it. It's probably, I want to say use callback, but I don't know. That's probably not the best performance for some reason. Yeah, see, why is you use callback worse? It's like a gotcha moment. Damn, that is a decent price for $100 for 100 GB. Yeah, it is. I got a super sweet deal, Casey. So basically, one thing, if you do auto deposit on your, like, auto deposit being that it just takes it out from your bank account, um, every month automatically, you get $10 off. So normally the plan's $60, so then I get $10 off for that, and then I got another $5 off for being a new, because I switched providers, so I'm a new customer, so I got a new customer discount of $5. So it went from $60 to $45, which, like, I'll take it. I mean, I only have unlimited calling and texting in Canada, and then, like, I think, like, limited minutes to the internationally, but I don't really care. I don't really call many people on the phone, like, international. Like, if I'm gonna call you internationally, I'll probably just do like um Discord or something. I'm not gonna call you on the phone, you know. Okay, so use callback can be worse in some cases. VoIP, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tyler. We use VoIP at work. We use Telus, but it's routed through Teams, which is cursed. Um, any Canadians in the chat will know what I mean by that. By Telus anyway. I get 50 GB, 110 minutes international calls, and unlimited calls in my country for slightly more. Oh wow. Dang. Yeah, it really depends on the provider, honestly. Like I got a pretty good deal. All of our providers suck, yeah. I'm currently using Bell. They're all scams, yeah. But and the thing is too, you think, okay, go to somewhere like Kudo. Kudo is owned by Telus. Also, Telus is owned by Bell. I don't know if you knew that, Tyler, but Telus is technically Bell as well. So there's really only Rogers and Bell. Those are the two like monoliths. And Kojiko, if you know of Kojiko. Kojiko's its own thing. Um, yeah, yeah. It's literally just Rogers Bell. At least I think Telus is owned by Bell. I think I heard that at work, so I believe it. Um, oh, Kojiko's not near in your city. Got you. Those brands sound like brands from the Silicon Valley TV show. Probably, yeah. Well, Bell is named as after Alexander Graham Bell, obviously. And then Rogers is more of a scam though. If I have to go Bell or Rogers, I go Bell. Rogers I hate for other reasons. Um, yep, exactly. And he's Canadian, don't you know? Alexander Graham Bell is Canadian. Bell is in the U.S. Wait, is it really? No shot. Apparently it was an American telecoms company. Interesting. Bell North or Pacific? Yeah, I don't know. I know in the States they have like what? They have like AT&T, Verizon. What's the other main one that I can't think of? Uh, I don't know. The States has many providers. But in Canada, it's just Bell and Rogers. Growing up, one of my GS parents worked for Bell. Nice. T-Mobile, that's it. T-Mobile, that's what I was thinking of. That's awesome. We actually have a family friend that works for Bell, so that's why I'm with Bell. He gave us the premium members discount too, or not. You're not even a discount. It's just like a perks package. Yeah, exactly. We have. I didn't even know we had all those. Yeah, those are the big three in the U.S. We don't. No, we don't have T-Mobile and Verizon in Canada, do we? No, at least not that I've seen. All right, let's go back to this. Take a step back from our specific example and even from React and consider this. Oh, ATT used to be a thing in the. Okay, got you. Yeah, yeah, like for like landlines and stuff, right? Or even for cell phones, I guess. But like back in the day, it was just all landlines. Here in the UK, it's EE, O2, and Vodafone. Got you. I've heard of Vodafone actually, because I lived in the UK when I was very young. Fun lore fact about me: I lived in the UK when I was 8 years old for like 6 months. Um, and when I say lived, it was not really a. I didn't really live there. I kind of was like a long visit, really. Um, it was like an extended visit. Every line of code which is executed comes with a cost. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're exactly the same, except use callback version is doing more work. In some cases, use callback does more work that costs more than it otherwise would have saved from an original. I.e. has to call the use callback function in React itself under the hood, etc. You lost your vape and you're so confused and kind of mad. Dang. I have never. This probably won't surprise any of you, but I don't. I've never actually. That's not true. I did vape once. I've hit a vape one time ever in my life when I was 17, and I never will do it again. Because my friend in band convinced me to do it in grade 12. Fortunately, the one thing I do is vape. Dang. Nah, I'm like sober off of everything. Because I mean, I will say like I do take medications that are not. You shouldn't mix. You shouldn't fuck around with like nicotine and stuff like that. Nicotine, alcohol. Um, your daughter, dang. Darn peer pressure. Yeah, exactly. In fairness, that was before I started the medications that I'm on. That prohibit that. But also, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Me too, Casey. I've tried alcohol too. I don't like it. I don't like alcohol. I don't like, you know. I'm not gonna say other substances because they're illegal in some countries, but I've tried other things. Um, did it drop on the floor and like maybe go under the bed or something? Because that can happen sometimes, where you drop it and then it just like fucking disappears. Um, Yeah, of course, been there, done that. Like, don't like that. Well, yeah, exactly, exactly. That and also like drinking culture in amongst like young people is like stupid. Like ages like 18 to 24 or whatever. Damn, that does suck. JavaScript. Make it more allocation for function definitions. Yeah, so it's just extra expense because this is especially true if the original function is simple, right? Because you don't need to do a use callback for like a simple function. Oh yeah, drinking is something a lot of people take up because it's so normal. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it should be normalized. I think it's bad for society, generally speaking. But that's just my opinion. I drank so much from the time I was like 15 to 25. Dang. But yeah, I mean, so do a lot of people. I also just like to, and this is gonna sound maybe a little like, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Um, this is gonna be like a, I don't know. I don't want to sound like conceited or anything, but I also just like to be in control of my own mind. I don't like the inhibition, you know, or the uninhibition, whatever it is. I mean, it's nice, but it also isn't. Yeah, I would agree too. I would agree, especially when eaten. Like if you eat that if you eat the marijuana like edibles. I agree. Smoking's bad for you in any capacity. I think that's just my opinion. Although cigarettes are obviously like the worst. Um, Mine gets scary sometimes when my therapist is available. Dang. Siggy, yeah, exactly. Darts, as we like to say in Canada, right? Just hacking a dart. It's like Canadian bush lingo. It's good. Especially astute, you'll notice that this means React also has to hang on to the reference. Right. Use memo. Of course, allows you to memorize any value type. It does this by accepting a function which returns the value. Yeah, okay. Uh, Going out for a dart, bud. Out for a rip, are you there, bud? Yeah, exactly. It's like the out for a rip. What was the? It's like the YouTube like music video from like 10 years ago. That's another like Canadian heritage piece. Um, Same idea. If there's data that doesn't need. You love that song? Yeah, exactly. It's a great song. It doesn't need to be, or that isn't expensive to initialize or calculate on its own. Use memo gives is slower. I guess it's slower due to overhead. On Twitter, it was like, "You people have a wonderful Merry Christmas" or something. Oh, jeez. Oh, Don Cherry. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about. Sorry, Don Cherry. Um, I don't honestly have much of an opinion on Don Cherry. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know him that well. He's like a hockey commentator, right? Or was? Oh, okay. I think I remember hearing something about that. I don't know. Announcer and ex-coach. Yeah, I knew he was something. I know. I'm not a big hockey follower, so I don't know. Does this like are there comments at the bottom of this, or is this all article? Okay. Yeah. I know it was like the hockey night in Canada or whatever, right? Um, Performance optimizations are not free, yeah. So the main point is performance optimizations also cost. The benefit to offset that cost is not always there, depending on the use case, right? Use Boston's Bruins coach way back in. Oh, got you. So when should I use memo and use callback? There's specific reasons both of these hooks. Referential equality. Okay, so let's say when to use memo. Referential equality. Oh, I see. Okay. Would it be checking referential equality? I guess so. Find an object inside your React function. It's not going to be referentially equal to the last time an object was applied. There are two situations of referential equality. Yeah, exactly. Gotta love the triple equals, right? I'm gonna go deep in this, as I said. Dependency lists. Dependencies lists. The reason this is problematic, useEffect is going to do a referential quality check on options, because between every render and thanks to the way JavaScript works, options will now be new every time. So when React tests whether options change between renders, it always evaluates the true. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm a little confused here. We're about to see some seriously contrived code. Referential dependencies lists can include these in useEffects for optimization, but can also just, what was the other thing that it did? Yeah, the strict equality or quality operator, whatever checks the type and value. Yeah, exactly. Like double equals is equality on just the value, and then the triple equals is type and value, which you'd think, like, it's weird because you have that in JavaScript, but JavaScript is dynamically typed, so what's the point? You know, Python doesn't bother with that. You know, like Python just figures it out. You just put the, if it's gonna be a wishy-washy language, you might as well just have the double equals equality anyway. Like, don't fuck around with type equality nonsense if you're a dynamically typed language. I don't know. I get that part. That I understand as far as, you know. I don't know. Gotta love it, man. So bar is a function, and then baz is an array. Const options are non-primitive objects arrays. I guess it's to prevent certain bugs. Yeah, probably. But like, I don't know then how Python does. I don't know. I don't know. So you have the use effect, and then you can wrap the use memo inside of the constant. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is like getting a little spaghetti. Okay, so we have the count button that goes. We open that. So we have 2 count setters. Every time you click on either of these buttons, the dual counter state changes and therefore re-renders, which in turn will re-render both the count buttons. However, the only one that actually needs to re-render is the one that was clicked. Ah. If you click the first one, the second one gets re-rendered, but nothing changes. Okay. Okay. Interesting. What did I put for this? But can also wrap dependencies as they're used inside of use memo / use callback. Right, so like some whatever his code example. Okay, get it now. If balance is equal false, show the funds will cause a bug. If user balance is 0. Yeah, exactly. That's why. That's exactly why, because it's a Boolean. Yep. That's the double equals versus triple equals distinction. But like, for instance, in something like, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in chat that knows Python, but correct me if I'm wrong, but if you do a double equals in Python, I don't think, like, is in Python, is 0 equals false? Like, is this true? Is this in Python true? I don't know. Right? I don't know. That's like a thing with Python. I don't actually know. Because it is that they're both falsy values, but they're different types, right? But then in Python, you can also do type annotations. So I don't know. What keyboard do I got? I got you. Don't worry. Hold on. I got a command for that. It's the Newfie Kick 75. I don't provide a link, Swaha Gaming, because it's on Amazon in your country probably. No problem. But just look it up on Amazon in your country and you should find it. That's where I got it. But anyway, I think I'm gonna leave this here kind of mid-article, only because like I feel like my comprehension skills are just like I'm reaching like an end at the end of my let me trick the phrase. Yeah, well, it's a little pricey, Swaha, but you know, it's worth it for sure. Oh, in Python just checks if two values of two objects are equal. Okay. Wait, so then how do you check like equality between like primitives then? What switch do I have? What do you mean? Oh, switches, like the keyboard switches. I think it's the brown switches. I think it's the brown ones. If I remember correctly. The brown. I like the kind of softer feeling than the kind of more harsh clackety sound. Yeah, no worries, Swallow Gaming. Appreciate you. What's your LinkedIn? I don't share my LinkedIn on this channel. I do have a LinkedIn, but I don't share it. It's I keep it private. But if you want my GitHub, you can have my GitHub. You just use, yeah, just the same. That's what I thought. But anyway, I think I'll probably finish this article off stream and then I'll get started with these other ones. Next time, because I don't know, today was a day. You know, it wasn't too bad. It was just, you know, rainy weather and, you know, a lot of screens as it is. Well, it's every day for me, but you know, today for whatever reason it's particularly, I don't know, but you know, probably just gonna, you know, log off, do some more organizing. I'm like halfway packed my clothes and stuff like that. Where am I based out of? I'm based out of Canada, Swaha. I don't say my province. But yeah, it's kind of just one of those like bleh days, you know. I don't know. So yeah, I did my winter clothes which it's always true when you're moving that you have more clothes than you expected. You're like, shit, I have no. And so anyway, I've probably got to like go through that more in more detail. Um, I live nearish to there, Swaha. But not really that close, no. Say I had a Drake for me. um, I also don't, just on principle, I don't meet random people on the internet, you know? Um, but no, I don't live in Toronto, no. I mean, if you join my Discord community and chat and get to know the community, like maybe I'd be open to a meetup like sometime well into the future, but not just like on one one chat, Um, but I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, I was kind of yapping about moving. Um, oh, there's Toronto Tech Week. Got you. That's interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna miss that. No, I live well outside of Toronto. Yeah, for sure. I don't doubt it. But anyway, have a good night. If you want to follow along on my journey, I would appreciate if you subscribed. I'll be live again tomorrow. When's the expo? Is that the CNE? What expo? Yeah, that expo. It's on the August 21st to September 7th. I'm actually going to that, I think, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, probably shouldn't say that. Don't come find me, please. But anyway, yeah, the CNE, yeah. I actually do have plans. I might be going to that. But anyway, I'll have to travel, of course, but I may go to that. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to subscribe and follow my journey, really appreciate it. Subscribe. I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube. I hit the 1,000 subscribers. I'm really appreciative of each and every one of you that's subscribed and follows on my journey. But I still need some more watch hours. But yeah, join the Discord if you want to be a part of my community, and I'll see you tomorrow.